You want a war? You're gonna get one.
Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw! WCW Monday Nitro!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. I am the game! Hulk Hogan has betrayed WCW!
A satisfied witness! He is broken in half!
Brett screwed Brett.
If you smell
What in the hell is he doing here?
you can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. We are at war.
Welcome everyone to the Monday Night Warfare podcast. I'm JR Judy, joined by Wade Skaggs, and hey Wade, we're back. Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Wonderful, my friend. How about you?
Well, I mean, this is the best Christmas gift we have. The Monday Night Warfare podcast is back. It's almost like we hit a snafu or something and had 2 episodes get completely corrupted.
Just a little snag. Just a little technical snag.
Let's just be honest and say, hey, this episode's already been recorded once. And
Yep.
World War III's already been recorded once. And technology
That's true.
said
That's true.
no.
I fully blame Acer and their line of products. So write mail to them and not us.
Acer is not a sponsor of the podcast, nor will they ever be a sponsor of the podcast.
That's right. That's right.
But we're glad you're with us for the revamp of the Monday Night Warfare podcast. I say revamp because we're going to change it up a little bit. We got a couple new segments to try out. I've got this new light right here, which makes me look like I'm cutting a Paul Bear Undertaker promo. The power of the urn!
I love it.
And we are ready to go on the road to WCW World War III 1995. We're coming off the heels of the Survivor Series, and Wade, that exceeded expectations on a whole lot of levels.
Yep.
The 1-2-3 Kid was the sole survivor in our opening elimination matchup. Aja Kong, the sole survivor in the women's elimination matchup. Goldust defeats Bam Bam Bigelow. The entire team of the Dark Side, The Undertaker, Savio, Vega, Fatu, and Henry O. Godwin, pulled a clean sweep on the Royals. In the very unorthodox wild card matchup, Shawn Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, and a very happy British Bulldog survived. And in our main event, Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Diesel to once again become the WWF champion. But really the big story is coming out of the Survivor Series, the post-match incident with Diesel. A little new attitude for Big Daddy Cool. He's maybe Big Daddy Grumpy now.
Yeah, and it was too sweet. You feel me?
Well, now it is time to kind of see the fallout from the 1995 Survivor Series. Let's check the scoreboard real quick, Wade. Going into this episode, I've got Nitro ahead 8-2. You've got Nitro 8-1-1 with that one stupid tie that's going to linger forever and a day. We're going to need like one more tie just to make that column
I hope another
viable.
tie never happens.
Oh
And
my
remember,
gosh.
Hey, 7 years ago I had this one tie.
Speaking of living on, how about this crowd for Raw? They are live and they are rambunctious. We are in the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia. Last week on Raw, a 2.6 rating. This week down to a 2.3. This continuation of post pay-per-view episodes really taking a dip in the rating. I don't get it. I can kind of see it because of what they advertised on Nitro, but Survivor Series was good.
Especially with what happened with Diesel. Like, no, if we're kids watching this, we're tuning in, dude. Like, do we want to see Sting and Hogan? Of course, but after what Diesel did and Brett being the new champ, we're tuning into that, dude, I feel.
Yeah, Raw definitely planted the seeds to make it a must-see episode. And the fact that it's live. We've talked about these live episodes of Raw. There's a different vibe and a different energy in the building. And it really pays off tonight. We start off the show with still images from last night's Survivor Series, really focusing on the WWF title matchup. And Vince McMahon calls that match a crossroads for both men's careers. And it's interesting to think what the next 6 months will look like for both Bret the Hitman Hart and Big Daddy Cool Diesel. We get the opening intro for Raw. The crowd looks amazing. The fireworks are great. This is a very, very energized arena. Vince McMahon on commentary, very hyped up. And Jerry Lawler is still selling the headache from the tombstone last night. We've talked about it. King is so good on commentary in these early episodes.
He's the greatest. He's got to be the greatest color guy of all time, don't you think?
Like, he and Bobby Heenan are my 2 favorite color guys.
Yeah.
everybody talks about Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, and they're great, but Vince and Jerry don't get enough credit.
I agree 1,000%.
So we get a replay from last week where the 1-2-3 Kid joined the $1 Million Corporation, costing Razor Ramon that matchup with Psycho Sid, taking the dirty money after the matchup. We also get a highlight of the Survivor Series where Ted DiBiase purchased Jean-Pierre Lafitte's spot in the matchup. Something click, something backstage issues. And the 1-2-3 Kid was a sole survivor in that matchup. And then we also saw the 1-2-3 Kid costing Razor Ramon his wild card Survivor Series matchup, causing Razor to be eliminated. We go backstage, Ted DiBiase and the 1-2-3 Kid are hugging. That is a proud father and son moment. I wonder what Ted Jr.'s thinking watching this. Why don't you love me, Dad?
He's got to be like Dad? 5 years old or something, so you don't know what's going on.
I don't want to get into the DiBiase household. So our first matchup here on Raw is a rematch from SummerSlam 1995. It's Hakushi against the 1-2-3 Kid, and Hakushi gets the jobber entrance. Boo! Hakushi's great. What is this with the...
Yeah. We've talked about how much we love Hakushi before. So, thanks again, Vince.
The 1-2-3 Kid makes his entrance to the ring, and the crowd with a huge and a very loud Razor Ramon chant before the matchup gets underway. And asking you shall receive. We get Razor Ramon on the phone. Razor calls in, and Razor
How
Ramon
many times are they going to do this? My God.
They love the phone call.
You know, I can't believe it, McMahon. I thought he was like my little brother, but he ripped me off. He sold me out. But forget about that. I ain't no crybaby. Kid, I want you to get this message, Chico. You know better than anybody just how bad Razor can be. You crossed me, and now, little man, stick man, you're gonna pay.
Well, what about the respect factor, Razor? What about the Kid always wanting your respect? Obviously, I would suggest that's not what he has earned. He's earned, if anything, I would suggest your wrath.
Well, he's been saying I held him down. I'm jealous of him. You know, he joined the $1 Million Corporation. To me, that little snot-nosed punk is nothing but small change.
More puns in the WWF. I hate it. I hate it. I love
puns. I love it.
Shut up. You and Bret Hart and I hate the puns. They're so bad. In the ring, Hakushi ducks the spinning wheel kick and answers back with a drop kick on the 1-2-3 Kid. Marty Jannetty comes slowly jogging down to ringside and is held back by the referees. And the crowd, for the first time, doesn't care at all. Like, this is the quietest they've been for Marty since we've done the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Marty's been crazy over.
Well, we go to commercial break as Marty Jannetty is taken to the back to the locker room area. We come back. The 1-2-3 Kid is in total control of the matchup. And Vince McMahon says Diesel is on his way to the arena. So Diesel's not here yet, but you know there's going to be something with Big Daddy Cool. Hakushi catches the spinning wheel kick of the 1-2-3 Kid, but gets caught with the free leg. Nice combination move by the Kid there. And the Kid slams Hakushi to the mat, goes to the top rope, and delivers a huge splash. Only gets a 2 count. Hakushi eventually turns the match around with a big tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, hits the handspring corner elbow, and a flying forearm. Still only gets a 2 count. Hakushi to the top rope, diving shoulder block, and again only gets a 2 count. Cannot put the Kid away. Hakushi super kicks the 1-2-3 Kid all the way to the floor, climbs to the top rope, gets shoved off by Ted DiBiase. The Kid follows up with a spinning heel kick for the win. And after the matchup, Ted DiBiase pays the 1-2-3 Kid his allowance. It was a good match. It wasn't as good as SummerSlam, but it was still a good match.
No. Day and night. Yeah, it was solid. I mean, it was a serviceable match. It was a good the first match on the show, which is very different from the first match on the next show, but just wait a few minutes until we get there, okay? These guys have great chemistry together, and so I'm glad to see them go head-to-head anytime. But the story is what happens afterwards, yeah.
Yeah, after the matchup, Jerry Lawler is interviewing the 1-2-3 Kid and Ted DiBiase. Jerry Lawler says he's proud of the Kid and he's apologizing for being mean to him in the past. Such a good 180. Ted DiBiase says he's also proud of the 1-2-3 Kid and the investment he's made in the 1-2-3 Kid. During the interview, Marty Jannetty comes out to confront Ted DiBiase, But who should follow him but the golden boy of the $1 Million Corporation, Psycho Sid, who attacks Marty, saying if he wants to get to the kid, he has to go through Sid first. Ted DiBiase holds the referee's back, and Psycho Sid power bombs Marty Jannetty on the floor. What a chaotic start to Raw.
Oh yeah, it absolutely was. I love that visual. That's such a great visual of Ted DiBiase. He's got his arms back, like trying to corral the crowd behind him. All the referees, no, let him murder him. I think that was really good. Good segment. It furthers the storyline here.
I think more than anything, it really is driving home the live and unpredictable aspect of Raw on this episode. You already had a run-in the first match, but it didn't affect the match. And then you have the post-match with a little bit of chaos. This episode of Raw feels different in the first, third of it.
Now, the whole thing, really. Just wait, it's going to get much better.
This is setting the tone for a very different episode of Raw. And then we cut back to Dok Hendrix and the WWF Slam Jam. And Dok Hendrix is more hyped up than Vince McMahon was. What is happening in this episode of Raw?
What are they putting in the water down there?
I don't know. But Dok Hendrix is previewing our next time we're on pay-per-view for the WWF. It's December the 17th, 1995, In Your House 5, Seasons Beatings, where we now know the main event, Wade. Bret the Hitman Hart will defend the WWF title against the British Bulldog, his brother-in-law. And the Bulldog says Bret's nervous because he knows the Bulldog can beat him, referencing SummerSlam 1992. I know this match is going to be good. I've seen it before. It is a very good match. I forgot how much they beat the dead horse of SummerSlam 92.
Oh, yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, that was 3 years ago, Bulldog.
Yeah. I haven't seen the match. I know who's going to win, or at least I know who's going to be champion afterwards. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much.
Well, I hope you're also looking forward to the other matchup.
Nope, I absolutely am not.
To the other matchup announced for In Your House 5. It is the Arkansas Hog Pen matchup as Henry O. Godwin takes on Triple H. The only way to win the matchup is to throw your opponent in the Hog Pen. Oh, what a contrast of matches at In Your House 5.
Yep.
I mean, they've been building this feud decently well.
Yeah, they have.
So I'll give them that.
Oh, it fits in perfectly with Triple H's character because he's got the cologne and he doesn't want to get dirty and all that. So this is the perfect storytelling for that kind of character. I have no idea what's going to happen. So I guess I'm somewhat looking forward to it, but I'm ready to be disappointed also.
Well, what's not disappointing is Dok Hendrix got interrupted during the Slam Jam. Diesel has arrived at the building. He's shoving crew members out of the way. And as we go to commercial break, Diesel's chatting backstage with Shawn Michaels. Those two really haven't interacted much since the triple header matchup a couple of months ago. So we'll see what the Click has to do as we head to commercial break. We come back for our next matchup. It is Skip of the Bodidonas, one-on-one with Savio Vega. And Skip gets the jobber entrance. But Raw is sponsored by the Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, Wade.
Yeah.
Did you get some for Christmas?
No.
Neither did I.
I still want some.
Gotta get Santa! Speaking of Christmas presents, Barry Dudinsky is selling some very cool denim jackets during Savio's entrance. Undertaker, Diesel, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart, $59.75 a piece. It's a weird price point. It's a weird price point, but somebody buy me that Bret Hart jacket now.
Bro, I want the Undertaker one. Bro, this is the... If you were wondering, in case any of you youngsters out there, okay, are wondering what was cool in 1995, okay, ponder that while you get off my lawn, all right? Denim jackets like that were the coolest thing, man. I don't know if you remember, but I had a couple of them back when we were in elementary school, and I'm like, bro, I'm the coolest kid in school. Was I? No, but I thought I was.
Denim jackets with giant logos on the back.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the logo on the back.
Yep.
And those had some real cool ones on the back.
Absolutely.
Savio Vega starts the matchup off with some rough chops. Skip gets caught and catapulted into the top turnbuckle, but does fight back with a nice crossbody. Savio takes him over with a suplex and then a backdrop to Skip. But then the arena kind of comes alive because Big Daddy Cool Diesel is making his way to ringside as Savio backdrops Skip to the floor. Diesel shoves Skip to the floor and grabs a microphone as this matchup just kind of comes to a halt.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just kind of stops. Like, the match was serviceable, but that's not the story. I mean, any comment on Skip versus Savio?
Yeah, 100%. Completely overridden by Diesel, which is cool. But Skip and Savio I do like, though. And, give them some really good time. They could have some great matches for sure. But the story, absolutely 100%, is Big Daddy Cool, baby. He comes down here to the ring. Oh, my God. He's so cool. He's dressed in all the black. He's taking a page from Hulk Hogan's book, huh? He's embraced the dark side, brother. So that's,
A lot of people are probably wondering where Big Daddy Cool's head's at right now.
I'd like to know.
I thought about it, and I thought maybe I'd come out here and apologize for what I did to Brett, and for what I did to all my dear fans.
Who needs them?
I don't think so. Last night when I went back to my hotel room, I wondered if I'd be able to get any sleep. For the first time in a year, I slept like a baby. When I woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror, you know what I saw? I saw a smile on my face. It's the first time I saw myself smile in a year. Because I saw myself. Not some corporate puppet that you decided to create, Vince. You missed the ball on this one, baby. You missed the ball. After I won the title, 24 hours later, I'm up in Titan Tower with the marketing suits, the merchandising suits. Hey, Diesel, we need you to smile a little bit. We need you to be a little bit more politically correct, a little bit more corporate. Well, baby, what you saw last night was the tip of the iceberg. Big Daddy Cool's back. That same guy you saw in Providence at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. The only thing that matters to me right now is my family, my friends. That includes you, Shawn Michaels. I'm not saying I'm not going to smack hands, but it better have a black glove on it, baby, because I know you're with me. Whether you like me, love me, or hate me, hey, that's the way it's going to be. I'm back.
First of all, everybody talks about like the Bret Hart shoot promo in '97 when they really kind of call out Vince. I think this is the most overlooked promo of not just like the WWF, but like of Vince's character arc, because this is really your first like, what do you mean Vince created this guy? Vince just the commentator. Like, no, we're kind of peeling that layer back. I also like the fact that Diesel's on his way back, he's only high-fiving fans with the black glove on.
That's right, and I love that. And it's also smart business sense because I'm a kid, bro. Actually, forget being a kid. If I'm 31, I'm going in there and I'm buying those gloves. I'll tell you that right now. High five me, Big Daddy Cool. I'm telling you.
I think it was such an unpredictable and kind of unexpected promo from Diesel. He went total 180, and he's not really a full-on heel, but he's leading that way.
Yeah, not many full-on heels will say, although I think they should, but not many of them will say, hey, if you still like me, I still like you. Most of them, I think it's kind of cheap to just say, I don't care if you like me or not, I hate you. But I think this is a cool way to do it. I come out of this thinking he is a full-on heel. That's what I was thinking. And yet, the crowd is eating this up, dude. I think this is a preview of things to come with the Attitude Era, and I think the fans were already ready for it, dude. Like, before Stone Cold was there, before The Rock and everything, the fans were ready and chomping at the bit for stuff like this to happen, because I absolutely did think he was a full-on heel, but the crowd is not having it. They're cheering him more than ever. So this was a great, great segment, something that I wasn't expecting at all. Fantastic.
Well, here's another example of maybe why he's not a full-on heel yet. He goes through the curtain. The camera's following Diesel all the way back to the locker room. When he reconnects with Shawn Michaels, who is a full-on babyface.
Oh, yeah.
But you notice that Shawn Michaels is wearing black gloves. Let that sit for a second.
He spent his money at the merch table.
He probably got him on a discount, brother. That's that click discount. But Diesel leaves the arena. So the former champion is gone. And we go to a commercial for the encore presentation of the Survivor Series. That's tomorrow night on pay-per-view. And then we get a preview for next week on Raw. Two interesting things to note here. Kama Mustafa of the $1 Million Corporation, the man who stole the Undertaker's urn and melted it down, will go one-on-one with the Undertaker for possession of the remnants of the urn. Plus, Brother Love returns to Raw to interview the new WWF champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. Two interesting things to note next week on Raw.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, I'm kind of like, this show was great, and like, this show was a big after the pay-per-view show, but it really kind of sucks to not have your champ on the first show after the pay-per-view, and they did the same thing with MJF after he won the title. I get why you do it, but it's disappointing as a fan, to be completely honest.
Yeah, there was definitely a lack of Bret Hart. But we did get his brother. We got the Rocket Owen Hart, the King of Hearts, in our main event. It's a really anticipated matchup. Two guys who started off the Survivor Series wildcard matchup the night before. It's the Rocket Owen Hart against the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Owen Hart gets the job entrance. Like, Savio or Skip and Hakushi, they're great, but I can accept it. Owen freaking Hart gets the job entrance?
100%.
Like, what is happening? Shawn Michaels makes his way to the ring, though. What a reaction for Shawn Michaels. This is his first matchup on Raw since the incident in Syracuse, where he got beat up by 9 hoodlums.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll bring that up on commentary.
Oh, God.
Guess what they do, in case you care. Owen Hart starts the matchup off with 3 quick pin attempts, and Earl Hebner has the stupidest fast count I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh. Is he practicing for a screw job or something? Shawn Michaels, a nice dropkick, sends Owen to the floor. Michaels avoids a leapfrog and then takes Owen over with a nice Hurricane Rana. Eventually, Owen Hart sends Shawn Michaels to the floor. Baseball slide dropkick. And here comes my favorite part of every episode. As the crowd chants USA, Mr. Fuji waves the Japanese flag for his Canadian wrestler.
I love that. I love it.
You ever heard the expression Hogan must pose at the end of shows? Mm-hmm. Fuji must wave flag.
Yep.
Like,
those are on equal footing for sure.
Yeah. Also, Vince McMahon is bringing up Syracuse as Owen Hart takes over Shawn Michaels with a bridging German suplex. Vince says after the matchup, we will hear from Shawn Michaels on his thoughts on Diesel's new attitude. So at least we got to get a continuation of the Diesel Shawn Michaels story as Owen takes out Shawn with a massive spinning heel kick. Shawn takes over Owen with a backslide. Owen kicks out, immediately takes over with a clothesline. Owen's really in control in the middle of this matchup, kind of keeping Shawn Michaels at bay. Owen goes for the superplex. Shawn counters with a crossbody off the top. Only gets a 2 count. Shawn with a flying clothesline to Owen Hart, but he can't follow up. Owen gets to his feet. Shawn kips up right in his face, which is great. That's a great visual. Shawn hits the flying forearm, scoop slam on Owen right in the middle of the ring. He ascends to the top turnbuckle, delivers the flying elbow, only gets a 2 count. Owen then gets sent sternum first into the turnbuckle. Why do the Hart brothers like that bump? Why? Shawn
They learned it in the dungeon, brother.
Yeah, clearly.
I guarantee you Stu caved their chest in 100 times with that thing, I'm telling you.
The turnbuckle probably feels like a pillow to them.
Yeah.
Shawn goes to follow up, gets caught with the enziguri to the back of the head. Shawn able to fight out of the sharpshooter, though, with a thumb to the eye. And then he clotheslines Owen over the top rope. Shawn skins the cat, poses back in the ring.
Shawn Michaels is electrifying its capacity crowd here in Richmond. Shawn Michaels bringing this.
And then Shawn Michaels collapses. Earl Hebner goes to check on him. Owen Hart looks concerned as he re-enters the ring. Vince McMahon leaves the commentary desk as we go to commercial break. We come back. Medics are in the ring checking on Shawn Michaels. They're putting the oxygen mask on Shawn Michaels' face as Vince looks distraught in the corner. Jerry Lawler has now left the table. He's trying to figure out what's going on. Gerald Briscoe, J.J. Dillon are in the ring. We come back to it from another commercial break. You hear Pat Patterson talking to Shawn Michaels, trying to get a response as the crowd is just in a hush. Shawn's eyes begin to flutter as we fade off the air on a very somber note on Raw.
somber to the extreme, my dude. My dog.
Thoughts on the match, the angle, the
Many
whole thing?
The match was very good. I want to see these two just absolutely go at it. You know, the truth is, I haven't seen a ton of Owens matches. And so to see these two guys go against each other is incredible. I want to see them go like a 60-minute Iron Man or something, you know? The match was good. The ending was something that I had no idea about. I didn't know it was coming. I completely forgot that this was a thing. I tell you what it reminded me of, and tell me if you remember this. Maybe 04, 05, they did something very similar with Eddie Guerrero. Do you remember that?
It was the.
I think it was on
Was it JBL?
It was either JBL or Kurt Angle. I think Kurt Angle may have been the GM at the time. I don't remember now.
Okay.
Anyway, and I was a kid, a 14-year-old kid, and I'm like, oh my god, my hero is dead. You know, so I can imagine what these little kids were thinking about there at the time. And if you listen to the audio, some of the producers or whoever, I feel what I'm guessing is they're talking to like kids in the front row, saying, you know what, he's okay, you know, Shawn is okay, he'll be all right, and everything. So you can hear that in the audio, which is very interesting. Yeah, man, they sold this perfectly. Vince getting up, off the commentary, and then Jerry getting up too. That really sold it, because I feel like sometimes they do these big things, and it really sells it when there's no commentary. You know what I mean? When it's just quiet, and you just have to look and take in everything that's happening with no commentary. Sometimes I think maybe they did that when, like, remember when Vince got crushed by all that stuff falling on him when he did I think it may have happened then. I don't know. But they sold this absolutely perfectly. If I'm a kid watching this, I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared out of my mind. Perfect. They did this, played it perfectly.
We talked about it before we got into this matchup, how next week on Raw, there's a matchup you're interested in, there's an interview you're interested in. Now you're really kind of drawn in on what happened to Shawn Michaels. So this episode of Raw was the most different, unique, and probably best episode of Raw I think we've covered so far.
Probably, yeah.
Let's hit the preview for Raw next week before we go into Nitro. We talked about it. Brother Love returns to Raw to interview Bret Hart. The Undertaker takes on Kama. 3 other matches are signed for Raw next week, though, Wade. Ahmed Johnson in action against Radford. Triple H goes one-on-one with John Crystal. John Crystal wrestled 28 matches for the WWF. Would you like to guess his record?
0-28.
0-28.
Hey.
So the day after this matchup on Raw, he wrestles Yokozuna at a Superstars taping. And then he returns in September of 96 to lose to Vader. I would not want to be John Crystal.
What a career. Hall of Fame 2023.
John Crystal. Mm-hmm. And then, how about this matchup, though? Stemming out of the Survivor Series, Aja Kong and Tomoko Watanabe against Alundra Blaze and Kyoko Inoue.
Ooh, I like that.
So women's tag team action, plus the fallout of Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker versus Kama, and Bret Hart. Raw looking pretty good next week.
It looks very good. Undertaker and Kama always had great chemistry. I love seeing those two fight. Aja Kong is an absolute legend. I think she's still wrestling now. I am a huge fan. Alundra Blaze is great. She still looks great. Did you see her at NXT? When they did the thing? Man, she looks great. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Well, are you also looking forward to Nitro?
No.
Well, we got to cover it because it's the Monday Night Warfare podcast, so...
Yeah, okay. I guess we should. Looking forward to World War 3.
We got to flip the channel to TNT. WCW Monday Nitro live from the Macon Coliseum in Macon, Georgia. Last week, Nitro drew a 2.0 rating. This week, up to a 2.5.
Ooh, they won.
They win the week. It is 4 wins for Nitro, 4 wins for Raw, 2 ties in the ratings battle. So dead even 10 episodes into the Monday Night War. We go to the Nitro intro, we get a crowd shot, as Eric Bischoff says, they are as live can be. We cut to the commentary desk, and we get the return of Cowboy Pepe.
You look so good to me. Oh, here we go, girl. My baby. You're my baby.
Oh my God, I'm thrilled. Anytime I get to see Pepe in a cowboy hat is a great day to me. Okay, brother.
Can we talk about how Mongo and Pepe matched this week?
Oh, I love it, dude. I
Great
love
touch.
Mongo. I love Pepe. They should both be in the Hall of Fame, NFL and WWE. Let's go on. I'm going on record right there. Let's get this trending, okay? Mongo for Hall of Fame, NFL and WWE.
Mongo for all awards.
Yeah, and Pepe.
Okay. And, well, can
Especially
Pepe
in the
be
NFL.
I was gonna say, can he be in the NFL Hall of Fame?
Hey, he has the same amount of sacks as I do, so I don't,
Mongo says tonight they're giving away a pay-per-view main event for free on Nitro. If you don't know, the main event is Sting versus Hulk Hogan. Bobby the Brain Heenan says he's going to be rooting for Sting to beat Hogan and then fall on the stairs and knock himself out. Thanks, Bobby.
Oh, he's the greatest.
Never change, Bobby. But what we could change is the opening match. It's a return matchup for WCW Monday Nitro. Scott Flash Norton against the Shark. Scott Norton makes his way to the ring. Shark attack! Shark attack! Shark attacks from behind, and the two begin to brawl. They enter the ring as Shark delivers the big belly-to-belly suplex and the elbow drop. Mongo hopes they reinforce the ring. Dang it. I hate that. Shark delivers a splash at the corner. Norton absorbs the body shots, avoids a corner attack from Shark. Scott Norton with a power slam, and then gets the win. Scott Norton did one move. And they get up and they start shoving each other. No, feud's over. This is done. Quit.
I hope so.
Oh my gosh.
I like Scott Norton a lot. I think he's really good, but just like what's going on here? On Raw they have Hakushi and 1-2-3 Kid. Two guys have great chemistry and great matches. And then you put this load of steaming garbage on your first match. This is a match that happens at like 9:25, okay? Not 9 o'clock. All right, it's ridiculous.
Knowing what match is next, if they would have flipped the two matches, you could have had a real do I stay on Raw? Do I go to Nitro? But this made it really easy.
Although there was bait and switch with that one, also. So
But even the matchup that we get, what Wade's referring to is as we get ready for commercial, we get a match graphic. It was scheduled to be Ric Flair against Eddie Guerrero. That match does not happen. We'll get there in just a moment. We come back for a commercial break as Mean Gene Okerlund's interviewing Kevin Sullivan and the original Benedict Arnold, Jimmy Hart. Jimmy says tonight's Sting's night. Tonight's the night he can beat Hogan. He says Hogan's lost his Hulkamaniacs. Jimmy says Sting was the one who gave Hogan the stamp of approval when he came to WCW, but Hogan has a new best friend, the Macho Man Randy Savage. It's not Sting that's on Baywatch with Hogan, Randy Savage is. Then Kevin Sullivan gets the microphone and says some words.
Yeah.
Something about, strength in numbers. Mm-hmm. His promo's not very good. Jimmy's was. And then Mean Gene Okerlund ends the promo by saying,
I thank you very much. Two of the biggest pieces of human garbage I could ever recall.
Thank you for saving this segment, Gene.
Oh, God. Mean Gene is the greatest ever. They need that more these days where these guys can, actually have personality. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so great.
Not just standing person with microphone?
Yup, standing beautiful person with microphone. I want to see Sting on Baywatch, to be honest. So, he shouldn't have said that because I would like to have seen that. Could you imagine? Oh, is somebody... No, sorry, I got paint on my face. I can't go in,
Bro, it'll mess up my paint. I mean, even when Sting did the old WCW mini movies, they had Sting and the Bulldog with Sid and Vader on the beach. Sting didn't have his paint on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So after that weird interview, we go to the commentary desk. Eric Bischoff is questioning how much Hulk Hogan can trust anyone, including Randy Savage. And Bobby Heenan says there's no one to help Hogan on Sunday. He's a man on his own. This running theme of where's he coming from, brother? Who can I trust, brother? Is just going to take over the rest of the show.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And in such stupid ways, but we'll get there.
But what's great is we get the Disco Inferno's music. He's back on Nitro. Disco Inferno is promoting his new CD. Did you get the new CD for Christmas?
Yes, I did, actually.
You did? Because I
Yeah.
didn't. I need you to burn me a copy.
Sure, will do. Now, you see, kids, burning is when you take a... Oh, I don't even have a disk drive on this thing, so I can't do it. Sorry.
Oh, man. I think we just... Oh. This sucks. Can you put it on LimeWire for me?
Yeah, oh, that's good. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. And then you'll end up downloading something that will scar you for life. That you never wanted to see in the first place.
This is not Disco Inferno's music video.
Let's change the subject quickly, please, for the love of God.
Eddie Guerrero interrupts Disco Inferno's dancing on his way to the ring, and then the Nature Boy Ric Flair is introduced, but he comes out in his street clothes, accompanying Flyin Brian. Ric Flair grabs the microphone and...
Apparently, somewhere in the wrestling world has made a big mistake made. They actually thought that I was going to come out here and wrestle you tonight, brother. You know that's a mistake. I'm the Nature Boy. And I'm focused. Woo!
Oh.
And I'm so
This is a coward's way out.
on the stinger that I have decided to let the great Flyin Brian Pillman have the honors of pounding you through the mat. Double A and Benoit, as we speak, are gassing up the jet. The Hooter girls are ready to go. Flyin Brian, you take care of my light work. I'll hold the jet, brother. Knock 'em dead. Woo!
What a visual of just like Flair outside. Hey, keep the plane there, brothers. Woo, gotta put some gas in it. Hey, Arn, how the Hooters girls doing? Benoit, stay away from them. Okay.
Let's move on.
Matchup begins. Brian Pillman slaps Eddie Guerrero in the face, then gets caught with a nice head scissors by Guerrero and a drop kick before Guerrero slaps him back in the face. Eddie off the top rope comes out and gets caught with a midair drop kick by Brian Pillman. We talked about it before. I remember that move as such a cool move, but it's becoming a recurring like every match thing. Mm-hmm. And like it's starting to lose that luster a little bit, I think. Yeah. Guerrero with a series of hard chops to Pillman gets taken over with the backdrop by Brian Pillman. And then Brian Pillman with a nice power slam on Eddie Guerrero only gets a 2 count. Brian Pillman suplexes Eddie Guerrero from the apron to the floor, but misses a dive off the top rope, comes in, crashes hard into the guardrail. And then we get to see Eddie Guerrero diving with a crossbody all the way up the entranceway. That's also becoming a recurring thing.
Yeah.
Why, like, as a kid, I remember that spot and Pillman's dropkick as like really cool spots.
Mm-hmm.
They're happening every match.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Guerrero back in the ring, plants Brian Pillman with a brainbuster, climbs the top rope. Pillman shakes the ropes, crotches Eddie Guerrero. Pillman attempts a superplex. Eddie shoves him off and delivers for, I think, the first time in the podcast, the frog splash for
buddy.
the win.
Yes, sir.
Great win for Eddie Guerrero, but the entire time the commentators used this match to promote Hogan versus Sting.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the match?
Match was great for what it was. These guys, oh God, I love Eddie. You know how much I love Eddie. He's just he's larger than life to me. I love both of these guys, and seeing them go all out was great. You know, something that I just thought of here, actually, that adds another layer to this is Eddie beats Brian Pillman. How does that make Ric Flair look? How does that make the Four Horsemen look? If I'm seeing this for the first time, I might be thinking, you know what? Rick said this was light work, but Eddie just won. I wonder how Eddie would do against Ric Flair. And so that, you know, this is a very, very good win for Eddie.
And we talked about it, building momentum for Eddie Guerrero, not just in the future, but this Sunday is World War III, and Eddie Guerrero is in the 60-man 3-ring World War III for the WCW World Heavyweight title. So that's a big win for Eddie Guerrero. We go to commercial break. We come back, get a preview for Saturday night. Lex Luger, Hugh Morris, VK Wall Street all in action. So is Disco Inferno. Put that man back on Nitro. As we're scanning the crowd, Wade, there is a fan who rips the head off a Hulk Hogan foam finger.
That's so great. I love that. This kid was ahead of his time, I'll tell you what.
He's ahead of his time, but it's also telling of what we're going to see in the main event later with this crowd. We go to a recap of last week on Nitro. The Macho Man Randy Savage, his arm being re-injured by Lex Luger in the Dungeon of Doom. And then they discuss the implications of Savage's chances this Sunday at World War III, not just in the 60-man 3-ring Battle Royal, but also the fact that he faces Lex Luger one-on-one. Again, not announced, but it's a big match. Why don't you tell us these matches for the pay-per-view you want our money for? And here's one of the dumbest things I've heard the entire episode. Eric Bischoff questions if this is all a ploy by Randy Savage and he's faking an injury to attack Hulk Hogan. What?
You know, I would say it's dumb, and it is. But I also said, I think I said this on the podcast, they kept saying, well, I wonder where Lex Luger's coming from. Maybe he's going to turn on Hulk and everything. And he freaking did. And I had no idea it was going to happen. So, maybe not so stupid.
You know what else is stupid?
Huh?
This next match.
Yeah.
Road Warrior Hawk and Big Bubba. It's a rematch from Nitro. And it's real
Oh
bad.
my god. This is one of the dumbest and also funniest endings of a match ever.
So, Road Warrior Hawk starts the matchup, attacking Bubba on the floor. Hawk backdraws Bubba and then slings him out of the corner. Something falls out of Bubba's pocket, which Mongo just calls out and will not stop focusing on it, telegraphing the finish of this matchup completely. Like, hey man, what's that? We'll get this thing. What did he do? Shut up, Mongo. Hawk with a scoop slam off the top rope, misses a big splash. Bubba attempts a splash. Hawk delivers an elbow. Hawk hits the rope, gets caught with a spine buster by Big Bubba for a 2 count. Bubba with Hawk against the rope slides out of the ring but gets punched in the mouth by Hawk. Hawk gets set into the turnbuckle, staggers backwards, bumps heads with Big Bubba. Hawk is the first one to his feet, comes off the top. Bubba counters with the flying clothesline, sending Hawk sending into the mat. And then Bubba pulls out from his pocket the roll of quarters and tapes up his right hand. In case you didn't know, because you probably didn't, Jim Duggan and Big Bubba are going to go one-on-one at World War III in a tape fist match. Why do I bring this up? Bubba's taping his fist, and Jim Duggan comes to ringside. And he trips Big Bubba. And Big Bubba falls, landing on his taped-up right hand, which knocks himself out. So Hawk can pin him.
What kind of diseased mind comes up with this? Like, it's so funny to watch. If you just, oh my god, it is so funny. You get a fist taped up with the roll of quarters. He trips and goes, and he gets knocked out. Hilarious, and not even in a good way.
This is one half of the Road Warriors and the Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
With Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the entire match, Eric Bischoff is talking about Sting versus Hogan and conspiracy theorying about World War III. He's not even paying attention to the match. Oh.
They really put all their eggs in one basket, man. World War III will sell the entire pay-per-view.
And this main event is really going to sell the episode of Nitro. There's nothing else you could say. Let's just go to the main event.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan against Sting. Sting's banger of a theme hits. And Sting comes out wearing red and yellow.
Yeah, buddy.
His pyro also almost blows him up. But he turns to the camera and goes, that was too close for comfort. Bischoff says Sting is trying to bring Hogan back to where he came from by wearing red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
What? That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
He's American made.
We hear American Made playing through the arena as Randy Savage comes out in a sling, and he almost gets blown up by the pyro. What?
Oh, man. Undertaker got a guy fired for that, so somebody may have gotten in big trouble that night, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, like, this guy almost killed 2 people.
Yeah.
Randy Savage is motioning to the entranceway. There's no Hulk Hogan. Eventually,
this is one of the this is one of the stupidest things ever. Oh my god.
Hogan sneaks up through the crowd wearing the Halloween mask from when he had the sword. He sneaks up behind Sting and turns him around, and then just stands there, and they start to jaw jack. Hogan shoves Sting. Sting begins to attack Hogan. At least the crowd's finally come alive because they've been dead all night.
Yeah.
Hogan sends Sting into the corner, almost loses his balance. Good recovery to deliver the clothesline. This crowd is so pro Sting and anti Hogan, though. Like, this is telling of what's to come in WCW.
Yeah, bro. Let me just tell you this opening segment of this match. It's the stupid. Like, how do you even come up with this? We've been watching wrestling our whole lives. We've seen it a million times. People come up to the crowd. You got Sting looks like an idiot. Like, Sting is standing there in the middle of the ring looking at, and Macho Man is just motioning to the aisle the entire time, and Sting is just like, all right, come on.
Where is he, Mach?
He looks like an idiot. And so we've seen it a million times. People come through the crowd or whatever, they come up, and then what do? Do they turn them around and start saying, I want to know where you're coming from, brother? No, you hit him in the back so you can get a jump start on the match. And so what's the point? If Hogan is just going to say, where you coming from, Stinger, what's the point of all of this, dude? What is the point of him coming down there?
There is no point. There is no point to this.
I don't get it.
This whole match is not very good.
Yeah, no.
The build up and the hype, it didn't live up to it. Sting ducks a clothesline from Hulk, sent him out of the ring with a pair of drop kicks, but Hogan pulls Sting to the floor and suplexes him on the floor. Eric Bischoff says that Sting was a big part of the reason as to why Hogan came to WCW, and now they're fighting, and Bischoff is heartbroken over this. Like, he is very sad that these two aren't friends. Sting takes down Hogan with a big crossbody, only gets a 2 count. Hogan takes Sting down with a drop toe hold, grabs his arm, turns to Macho and says, let's find out what he's all about. Where's he coming from, brother? It's not the appropriate time to interrogate somebody, Hulk.
Nope.
It's very much not the appropriate time. Hogan applies a side headlock, and the entire crowd turns to the back corner of the arena because something way more exciting than a Hulk Hogan rest hold is happening. What's your prediction of what's happening?
No clue.
I'm thinking a fight, or a kid being born, or some free popcorn.
Oh, God, could you imagine? Holy Moses. Wow.
Literally, Dean Douglas
There's a little Hulkamaniac coming into the world right now, brother.
And he's going to hide because this match sucks. Let's go right back in. Sting fights out, attempts a stinger splash in the corner, gets caught by a bear hug by Hulk. That was a cool spot, but another rest hold.
This bear hug is the worst bear hug that's ever existed.
Besides
the Yeti one.
The idea of catching him out of air is cool, but it dies very quickly. Hogan kicks Sting in the gut and motions to the crowd, and they are booing Hulk Hogan. As Hogan delivers a back suplex to Sting, Bischoff again mentions the WWF has gone to commercials. Like a second or third time he's done this in the episode. Like, worry about your own show. Because your show's a disaster and theirs is not. Sting begins to attack the left leg of Hulk Hogan. Crowd starts to come alive again. Sting locks on the Scorpion Deathlock in the center of the ring, but Hulk Hogan powers out of the hold and begins to Hulk up. Hogan with the big boot, but he misses the leg drop. Hogan clutches with the knee. Sting goes right back for the Scorpion Deathlock, and Hogan is pleading with the Macho Man Randy Savage and the referee to help him when who should appear but the Dungeon of Doom? Ming, Shark, Taskmaster, Zodiac, and hey, Hugh Morris, I guess you're in the Dungeon of Doom now. Haven't advertised that yet.
Oh, God.
But they're attacking Hulk Hogan and Sting, and Bobby says it's the first time they've laid a hand on Sting in weeks. What are you talking about? Like, why do they keep forgetting that other episodes happen?
I don't know.
Like, eventually Hogan and Sting are fighting side by side against the Dungeon of Doom. As the Giant makes his way to the ring, Captain Insano comes out. He grabs them both by the throat, but before he can deliver the double chokeslam, it's the Macho Man Randy Savage with a steel chair. The Giant chokeslam Savage before he gets dinked with a chair by Hogan and Sting. Like, oh, what a weak chair shot. But it sends the Giant to the floor. The Giant tries to go back into the ring. He's held back by the Dungeon of Doom. The crowd was into the closing angle, but this match sucked.
Yep. Captain Insano shows no mercy.
I wish Captain Insano would have blown everybody up at this point. That match sucked.
Yeah. It's just more of the same, really. I mean, this happens seemingly every week. There's so much bait and switch, going on here, with both shows really. But it's the Dungeon of Doom, week in and week out. They interrupt good matches. It happens all the time. Like I have dungeon fatigue right now.
You know what else happens every week?
Chaos backstage.
Chaos backstage, but chaos in the commentary booth, and people breaking Bobby Heenan's headset. We come back for commercial. Kevin Sullivan and Jimmy Hart are going ballistic at the commentary desk. They've broken Bobby Heenan's headset as we get a quick preview for World War III as we fade to black. Oh, that was a bad episode of Nitro.
Yeah.
Partially because it was chaotic, partially because it doesn't really advertise World War III.
Mm-hmm.
So our next episode will be World War III on pay-per-view. Let's run down the card for World War III. The WCW World Television title on the line. Johnny B. Bad to defend against Diamond Dallas Page. Do you know those guys were alive because they weren't on the show? It's a tape fist matchup. Big Bubba Rogers against Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Okay. Lex Luger against the Macho Man Randy Savage. It's not officially announced.
Mm.
Ric Flair one-on-one with Sting. It's hinted at, but not officially announced. How about these two matches that are not officially announced? WCW United States Heavyweight title. Kensuke Sasaki to defend against Chris Benoit of the Horsemen. And Bull Nakano and Akira Hokuto with Sonny Ono in their corner take on Mayumi Izuki and Cutie Suzuki in women's tag team action.
Oh, yeah.
But again, you'd never know it.
Nope.
And then the main event, the real selling point of this pay-per-view and the thing they're kind of attaching all their horses to, it's the 3-ring, 60-man WCW World War III matchup for the WCW World Heavyweight title. Scott Armstrong, Steve Armstrong, Arn Anderson, Johnny B. Bad, Marcus Bagwell, Chris Benoit, Big Train Bart, Bunkhouse Buck, Cobra, Disco Inferno, Jim Duggan, Bobby Eaton, Ric Flair the Giant, Eddie Guerrero, Hulk Hogan, Mr. JL, Chris Canyon, Brian Knobs, Kurosawa, Lex Luger, Joey Maggs, Ming, Hugh Morris, Max Muscle, Scott Norton, One Man Gang, Paul Orndorff, Diamond Dallas Page, Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, Brian Pillman, Sergeant Craig Pittman, Lord Steven Regal, Scotty Riggs, Road Warrior Hawk, Big Bubba Rogers, Jerry Saggs, Barrier Brother Ricky, Kensuke Sasaki, Shark, Barrier Brother Fidel, Dirty Dick Slater, Mark Starr, Stevie Richards Sting, Dave Sullivan the Taskmaster, Super Assassin 1 and 2, Booker T, Squire Dave Taylor, Hard Work Bobby Walker, VK Wall Street, Pistol Pez Watley, Mike Winter, Alex Wright, James Earl, and the Yeti and the Zodiac.
Huh? Is it over?
Dude, now you start again.
Oh, sweet God, no.
Pick me a winner.
Oh, right. I was trying to remember who I picked as the winner. The winner, my prediction as winner of the World War III, they've been marching towards this for so long. I think the Giant is going to go in there, and I think he's going to win it, brother.
Can we just talk about the fact that since this match is technically a world title matchup, this is Cobra's second world title match in like a month?
True. Good point. Good point.
Cobra for the world champion. He's getting that push, brother.
That's right.
I hope that Nitro episode gets pushed off a cliff. Well, before we do our Who Won the War, I think we have one more show to cover. And here's a fun little peeling back of that fourth wall. When we originally did this episode of the podcast, we did not cover ECW Hardcore TV. I thought it would be a good idea for Wade to tier list rank all 60 guys in that Battle Royal. I love you, Wade. That segment sucked, and I'll take the blame for it. I'm glad the episode got corrupted because that segment sucked.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. I aim to please.
Plus, this episode of ECW Hardcore TV was pretty good. The fact that we skipped it, that it would have been a disservice.
Yeah.
It's highlights for the November to Remember. We start off the show with Joey Styles saying, "If you missed this year's November to Remember, it's a regret you'll never forget." We got puns on Raw and rhymes on ECW.
Yes, sir.
We start out. The opening contest is the Broadstreet Bully one-on-one with Don E. Allen, former tag team partners colliding. Remember,
I'm glad you said the names because I had no idea who they were.
Those are the guys that got beat by the Pitbulls in like 20 seconds, remember?
Oh, okay.
But they're former tag team partners. They're colliding now. This is really the big story of this one is the special guest ring announcer is Bubba Ray Dudley. It's interesting. Joel Gertner is introducing Bubba Ray Dudley. That's a nice little preview. We get Sign Guy, Chubby Dudley, Dances with Dudley, and Big Dick Dudley, all leading Bubba Ray Dudley, who has got his finest hat and coat on. And Joey Styles apologizes if Bubba's speech impediment takes the whole hour. He says there is a 1 hour time limit on the introduction, not the matchup.
Good evening, fine people of Philadelphia, and welcome to Extreme Championship Wrestling's third annual November to Remember. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, the fans, and my adoring Dudley brothers for all the help that they have given me with my small little problem. No longer do I stand before you an insecure, nervous, stuttering and I guess with that in mind, live from the ECW arena.
Ooh, I love this part.
Beautiful, extravagant, downtown South Philadelphia.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it. I love this part. I love it.
Let's get ready to
He was doing so great until he started to let's get ready to... He tried to be Michael Buffer. He was doing so good.
Oh, he did great.
Bubba did great. And then Big Dick Dudley hits Bubba Ray, who responds with...
Bubba Ray just clocked on the alley.
And then starts attacking Don and Bully, which is weird that Bubba's attacking a bully.
Yep.
He hits the Bubba bomb on Don. I love the
that
stutter. I love the stutter.
Bro, when he... Oh, my God. It's awesome. Yeah, it's perfectly.
And then he gets a Bubba bomb on Bully.
And here it comes.
And Bubba pins Bully for the win? What?
Just, like, huh? This is not the first time that something like this has happened. Remember that one time where I think it was Razor versus 1-2-3 Kid, and they're like doing like match after match, and I'm like, why is the referee coming in and counting this? Why is the referee coming in and counting this? He just pins him out, and he's supposed to be the announcer. I was so blown away, dude. I cracked up. I thought it was hilarious, but I was like, what is happening here?
To be fair, I have won a match while being a ring announcer.
Really?
So,
Ooh.
I have won a match as a ring announcer. I'm
Very nice.
undefeated as a ring announcer.
Ooh, I like that.
I've also been chokeslammed by Darkstar Matt Taylor as a ring announcer, so that was a different story. Anyway, Bubba looks upset that his ring announcing debut was ruined as the crowd chants, "What's your name?" They want him to do the stutter. He doesn't give it to him. We get the ECW intro. We go to Joey Styles, who's previewing this week and promotes the November to Remember is already available on VHS. Just call the number below, and the number is blocked by Peacock.
Right, yeah. Let me just say something. First of all, at the end of the last segment, Joey says to Bubba Ray Dudley, he says, "We'll take you over Michael Buffer any day." And I'm like, okay, buddy. But, yeah, so when I'm watching this for the first time, and Joey says, "Hey, buy these videotapes of ECW November to Remember." What happens for the rest of the show, JR? They give away the best matches for free. Why am I going to buy a VHS tape when I can watch the matches for free right now?
Support your brand, I guess. I don't know.
I guess so.
I'm just impressed at how quickly the turnaround time is for their VHS, because like WWF and WCW take like a month or two to get those releases out, and ECW is like, cool, it just happened. Here you go.
Yep.
So then we highlight our matchups on ECW, and it's going to be a tag team title matchup with the Public Enemy against the Sandman and 2 Gold Scorpio with the most convoluted stipulations you've ever heard. This matchup will be for the ECW World Tag Team titles. Also, if 2 Gold Scorpio is pinned, they will become a member of Public Enemy becomes the World Television Champion, and the winner of the matchup will also challenge Mikey Whipwreck for the ECW World Title. That's a lot of things.
I love it. I think that's a cool stipulation. I wish, we would do stuff like that more often these days, man. I think it's really cool.
Would have been a cooler finish to the triple header match. Although it's kind of the same thing, and you hated that match. So
Let's move on.
Which side are you on? So Joey Styles highlights the Public Enemy's successes at the previous Novembers to remember. And then we go to our next matchup, and the ECW graphics have Too Cold Scorpio on there. I believe his name is Too Gold Scorpio.
That's right.
And so, reminder, the winner of the fall will receive the ECW World Heavyweight title shot. If the Public Enemy wins tonight, they will become the 5-time ECW World Tag Team Champions. The crowd begins to chant, "Please don't go," at the Public Enemy. And Joey Styles mentions they've received offers from the WWF and the WCW. Remember, the Survivor Series dark match, the Smoking Guns, the Soapy Wet Cowboys, took on the Public Enemy in the Public Enemy's tryout matchup, and the WWF offered them a contract. They do not take that contract. But we've already talked about it. The Public Enemy is going to sign with WCW, and in January, they're going to be on Nitro. So, kind of, sort of spoils this matchup, but we'll go with it.
To that.
Sandman has moved from California to Utah because, quote, he drank all the beers in the state. Scorpio grabs the mic.
I believe it.
Sandman wants to give credit, or Scorpio wants to give credit where credit is due, not to the Public Enemy, to himself and Sandman. Scorpio then challenges Flyboy Rocco Rock to a dance-off.
Hey, yo! Can somebody call my mama? It's about to get funky up in here. Know what I'm saying?
And then the Sandman tags in, and he wins. He wins.
What you say now? What you got? What you got for me?
Oh my God.
It's a no contest. He wins.
This segment is incredible. I love, you know how much I love Too Gold Scorpio. He's one of my favorite ECW wrestlers, honestly. When Sandman comes into the dancing contest, he starts doing the Cabbage Patch like this, you know, like the most basic dance move you can ever do.
Hey,
and
kids,
watch very close.
That was a cool dance in the 90s, kids.
That's right. Watch very closely to the referee's reaction. Did you see it? The referee, he covers his mouth and turns away. So this is what you see. If, say the camera's back here, the referee, Sandman is over here, the referee, all you see is, and he just kind of walks into the corner and walks away. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen, dude. But yeah, this was a great segment. And
the
then
Sandman wins.
Oh yeah. And then guess what? Woman starts dancing, but then the Public Enemy wants to get jiggy with it, huh? Okay, that's also from the 90s, kids. And so Too Gold Scorpio and Sandman are really not happy with this, and they stop them, and then, let's just say they kickstart the match and start beating the crap out of them.
And this is unfortunately a victim of ECW highlights on this matchup, so it is going to be cut down in rapid fire. But Flyboy Rocco Rock off the top rope, double clothesline, takes down both champions before Public Enemy sends both champions over the top, and with the ring cleared, mid-match dance break for the Public Enemy. Flyboy Rocco Rock and Too Gold Scorpio both connect with flying cross bodies before the weapons get into the ring. All four men enter the ring. We've got a four-way chair fight and just a good visual as always. Scorpio and Johnny Grunge are fighting up the entranceway as Scorpio grabs a fan's prosthetic hand. On the other side of the arena, Rocco Rock hits the Sandman with the world's smallest frying pan.
Oh my God, I know. That was so funny.
And then Scorpio, he takes the hand and, he checked Johnny Grunge's prostate with the hand, a fan's hand, a fan's hand that he uses in real life that he needs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This match had a dance-off, a micro frying pan, and a prostate exam.
Yep. That's ECW right there, let me tell you.
Yep. And then Sandman throws a drink in Rocco Rock's face and leaps over the guardrail and kicks him in the face. And then they say Rocco Rock hit the Sandman with a pumpkin pie. Like a full pumpkin pie. Before he throws him in the crowd. Who brought a pumpkin pie to the show? This is a weird tag match. Yep. Sandman hits a slingshot leg drop on Rocco Rock. Delivers a body slam. Scorpio slingshots in with a follow-up splash. Woman at one point canes Flyboy Rocco Rock right in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then Sandman's backdrop on a table on the outside. Table does not give. Mm-hmm. Sandman eventually front suplexes Johnny Grunge through the table. Rocco puts the Sandman on the remains of the table and hits a somersault plancha from the ring to the floor. That was insane. Mm-hmm. Rocco with a nice Hurricane Rana counter to the Sandman, but Scorpio breaks up the pin attempt. Scorpio then slams Rocco Rock, hits a picture-perfect moonsault. But Johnny Grunge makes the save. Rocco Rock goes for the drive-by. 2 Gold Scorpio moves out of the way. Rocco Rock hits Johnny Grunge. The Sandman collapses on top of Johnny Grunge to score the pinfall. So now the Sandman will take on Mikey Whipwreck in another return match.
Yeah.
It's another Sandman Mikey Whipwreck match.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the chaotic tag match?
You know what? Honestly, man, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, was it the greatest match? No. But as I said, the stipulation is cool. I only didn't like the triple header because of the bait and switch. Let's just get that out of the way. The whole match, I'm wondering how are Sandman and 2 Gold Scorpio going to interact with each other, because if I'm 2 Gold Scorpio, I want to become 3 Gold Scorpio. You understand what I'm saying? So he's going to try to get into that match. So the entire time I'm thinking what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden in the match, something like halfway during the match or something, they like take pins and they like let the other guy take the pin, like try to pin the guy. And so I'm like, well, shoot, okay, maybe they are like a good team, because I'm waiting for them to turn on each other at any point. So the ending was perfect, because I think we're all wondering, are they going to let somebody take the pin over them? Like, no way. These guys both want the pin. The way they did the pin was perfectly booked, with Sandman just kind of falling back. 2 Gold Scorpios on the other side of the mat and everything. So that was a great way to end the match. Good match.
Can we talk about the fact that we've already, the recording has already come out at this point, but GCW had a show this year with the reunion of Sandman and 2 Gold Scorpio in the year 2022. I love wrestling.
Oh yeah.
We go to commercial break. Come back. We get a replay. They point out that 2 Gold Scorpio held Johnny Grunge's leg to assist in the cover, so he couldn't get out. So a little bit of partnership.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then 2 Gold Scorpio pours beer on the Sandman to wake him up, and he starts dancing again.
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. What you say? Somebody please call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Say somebody call my mama.
Oh, that's
I have
so
a new
great.
favorite.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Sandman begins to drink some more beer. Scorpio drops the beer. Sandman looks upset. You think they're going to break up, and then he just hugs Scorpio, and he dances some more, and then drinks some more beer.
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama. What you say? Somebody please call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
This is awesome.
Yep.
So we fast forward in the night. We go to our main event now. The ECW World Title on the line. Mikey Whipwreck to defend against the Sandman. Wait a minute. There's Steve Austin attacking the Sandman. Steve Austin attacks the Sandman, hits the stun gun on the guardrail, and the medics, Damage Control, not them, but not the ones on Raw, the other ones, come out. I love how the medics are
not
called
the good
Damage
ones.
Control. These Damage Control save lives. Or something, I don't know. They're helping the Sandman, while Joey Styles is saying Austin may have just taken the back door into the title match. Why doesn't 2 Gold Scorpio get the title shot?
Good question. Great, because he didn't think to attack him, apparently.
But
this is extreme, brother.
I guess. Austin grabs the microphone, calls out Mikey Whipwreck. and who then makes his way to the ring. Austin says,
The 3rd November to remember is the debut of Steve Austin, son, because that clumsy-ass Sandman couldn't make it to the damn ring. I done told you once, you don't deserve to be in the same ring with me, not even the same damn building. You can get your ass out of the ring while he announces my name, because my name is Steve Austin, and tonight for a very, very short while, your name is Eric Bischoff.
Austin jumps Mikey before the introduction and goes on the offensive. Austin is continuing to mock Mikey as he kind of throughout the match talking trash. Austin sends Mikey into the safety room before slapping him across the face. The crowd is chanting Hogan before Austin gives them the big boot and the leg drop and only gets a 2 count. Austin at one point throws Mikey into the guardrail. This time Mikey counters and sends Austin into the steel. Mikey with a series of punches, but then they drop Austin. The crowd's coming alive, and then Austin immediately counters and hits the stun gun on Mikey, but only gets a 2 count. Mikey kicks out of the stun gun. Austin's frustrated series of punches in the corner. Mikey counters with a sunset flip. There's a full moon in Philadelphia, and Mikey Whipwreck pins Steve Austin to retain the ECW World title. The miracle of Mikey continues.
That's right. Wow. As far as matches go, I was looking like if you would have told me that Mikey was actually going to face Steve Austin, I would have been really excited, and I would have been very let down by this match. The match was not very good. I wouldn't have expected it to be like a main event for November to remember. I mean, like, it just wasn't that great. You know, it was pretty short. Although we did see a shortened version, but even so, still. Wait, was it shortened down? Because it flowed still.
I have no idea. I think that might have been full.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it honestly flowed so much that I didn't think it was cut down like the last one. Yeah, not a great match. Mikey wins by exposing Steve Austin's buttocks to the crowd, and the crowd is the crowd is going wild. You can see, like, we're seeing it from the other angle, so we don't see anything. But his tights are all the way down. They're seeing more than butt. I'm telling you right now. So, man, oh man. It was such a rickety, like weird little pin. Like, I didn't even think he got the 3 count really, but hey, it is what it is, I guess.
So they're trying to build up Mikey Whipwreck as the underdog. Do you want to hear an interesting story?
Absolutely.
So on the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD, Paul Heyman talked about this.
I wanted Steve to be champion. Steve's idea was wrestle at the November to Remember against Mikey Whipwreck and lose. And then come on television and say, I was this close to the title. And God, it makes me want it even more. He was so smart. Steve understood business. Steve understood how to articulate his love and his desire for the business, and therefore for the championship.
So the miracle of Mikey continues. We go to commercial break, and we get a promo from Raven.
Ultimate Jeopardy. If I lose Beulah. Big deal. She'll always come back. She always has. Since I was 12 years old, summer camp. When I had my best. My only friend. Tommy Dreamer. Tommy. Flash forward. Age 16. And my parents' divorce. And I turned to Tommy. But Tommy's nowhere to be found. Tommy couldn't be there. He couldn't be there for me like I needed him. All I wanted was my only friend. That's all I wanted. Was my only friend. And he couldn't be there. He'll give you a dozen reasons why. He'll say he was there, but he wasn't. And I needed someone. I needed a shoulder. I needed someone to cry on. And yes, I cried. And I've never cried since, nor will I ever. You see, Tommy Dreamer Ultimate Jeopardy is just another chance for me to exact on you the pain, the torment, and the anguish that you put me through. Tommy Dreamer Ultimate Jeopardy, you'll leave with a shaved head, like I care. You'll leave with a cracked skull. That might give me some solace. What would make me happier, Tommy Dreamer, if you just stayed out of my life forever?
I was there for you. I was there. I was there. I'll see you in the cage. I'll see you in the cage.
Tommy Dreamer. Ultimate champion. I will finish you once and for all. Quote the Raven. Nevermore!
And I love that Raven just gets up and continues the promo like nothing ever happened.
And bro, don't gloss over the most important point here. Tommy Dreamer comes into the camera wearing a hairnet like he's a cafeteria lady. he just got through. It's like all of a sudden, like they were in a school cafeteria. He's ladling the slop on the kids. Please, sir, can I have some more? Raven's talking crap about me. Better go beat him up. And then he goes directly back to the cafeteria to keep ladling slop. He's wearing a hairnet on his head. That's exactly what it looks like. Like, bro, what is even happening here, man? Love these two guys, though.
It makes no sense. So yeah, the impending Raven Dreamer feud will continue here in a couple weeks on ECW. But we go to Joey Styles, and this is really the most important part of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Joey Styles says he's going to send it to Paul Lee dangerously. We haven't really covered a lot of Paul Lee. And Paul Lee's in the ring, and he's thanking the fans at the November to Remember. And then the lights go out in Philadelphia. And when they come back on, Sabu has returned to ECW. He points to the heavens, and he shakes Paul's hand as the show goes off the air.
I love that.
Oh, how the landscape has changed in ECW.
Yes, sir.
The return of the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu. We will see where this story goes. Next week on ECW, 3 matches again from the November to Remember weekend. I'm going to assume these are all going to be in highlights. Would you like to know the card?
Absolutely.
Because it's a weird one.
Oh. Tell me my boy JT Smith is in there.
No.
Aww.
But the sexiest man alive, Jason, is.
Ooh.
He goes one-on-one with Conan.
Ooh,
with
I like
Taz
that.
with Taz as the guest referee.
No, ooh, that's going to be interesting.
Speaking of guest referees, Beulah McGillicuddy is a guest referee for Bill Alfonso against Todd Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
So those are matches that happen next week.
Yup.
But there is an ECW World Heavyweight title matchup. Mikey Whipwreck defends the ECW World title against Rey Mysterio Jr.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wow.
So that'll be in 2 weeks on the podcast. ECW, a very interesting ECW title matchup.
Oof. I'm psyched.
So, Wade, I know this is the Monday Night Warfare podcast. We have to go Raw versus Nitro. This might be the easiest decision we've had.
Oh, I don't know. I think I might have to think about this one for a minute.
You thought longer about this than you have your draft picks.
Let's not talk about that anymore. Go ahead and ask me.
I mean, Raw or Nitro, who wins the war?
The WWF Monday Night Raw, brother.
Just
hands down. This, it doesn't. It's not even a question.
It really isn't. Like they were two very different shows.
Mm-hmm.
Even in highlight form, ECW was better than Nitro this week.
It was more entertaining for sure. I love seeing Eddie and Brian, but other than that, I mean, come on.
This was very much a good win for Raw. So the scoreboard now reads: I've got Nitro ahead 8-3. You've got Nitro 8-2-1. That's stupid tie.
Woohoo!
But now the question is: can Raw get another win? Can they go back to back? We've got the episode in 2 weeks: The Undertaker versus Kama, Bret Hart, the Shawn Michaels story, a whole bunch of action. We'll find out, but that only comes after the fallout of World War III. Next week on the podcast, we're going to cover 3 rings, 60 men, and 1 new WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Any final comments before we get out of here, Wade?
No, man. I just think that the World War III concept is really cool. I'm looking forward to it a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we thank you for joining us on the Monday Night Warfare podcast, and we'll see you next week for WCW World War III 1995.